Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 19 for the event Marriage Prospects. In this example, we are going to study the birth chart of a female whose destiny is weak and supportive for the marriage and also separation. In this chart, the interesting point is that many planets are having unfavorable grouping of houses for the marriage. Only few planets are, only one or two planets only having that favorable significations, favorable key planets. So the destiny is having favorable and also unfavorable. And thus the planets which are having that favorable key planets in their ruler and unfavorable key planets not in a strong way, so that planet is supported for the marriage. But the same dasa in the unfavorable bukti, which is having the strong unfavorable in key planets playing role, that favored for the separation. This native actually, before getting to married, she got some one or two engagements also got broken. It means what? Marriage is indicating lot of hurdles and delays and also can lead to troubles. Only in the favorable, within the dasa, in the favorable bukti, which is comparatively better than the other planets, with the favorable key planets, it is playing role, that bukti has favored for the marriage. But when the destiny is unfavorable, also having that unfavorable key planets, that unfavorable key planets, which are the buktis, are under the influence of the unfavorable, they favored or they supported for this separation. So we are going to study the chart now with the help of the EPS tables. Example 19, divorce. The important points can be found in this example are many unfavorable key planets for marriage, and most of the other planets are also under the influence of them. And destiny is supportive for both marriage and separation. And the role of favorable destiny key planets in the important levels favored for marriage in their dasa bhukti. And similarly, the role of unfavorable key planets in the important levels cause the separation in the bhukti. So let us check in detail in EPS tables. This is the birth chart of the female who got married and also finally separated for divorce. And let us check the general study. Let me open that North Indian chart. Now let us study the general study on the birth chart. Lagna is Leo Lagna and 7th cusp is falling in the Aquarius. 7th house is occupied by Rahu. Rahu is occupying the 7th house. The occupant of the 7th house, if it is favoring for the 7th house, is well and good. If it is not favoring or it is giving unfavorable significations for the 7th house, then it is going to give struggle or trouble to that 7th house matters, right? Now, Rahu is not owning any house. So, we don't know what Rahu's CST, CSL and 7th Lord Saturn also we have to check. 7th Lord Saturn is posted in the 4th house. 6th Lord and 7th Lord Saturn is posted in the 4th house. And that Saturn is aspecting to Rahu, which is occupant of the 7th house. It indicates what? 7th house is occupied by Rahu. That 7th Lord is not well posted because it is occupying the 4th house. So 6th Lord, 7th Lord occupying 4th house and aspecting to the 7th house, which is occupied by the Rahu. Now let us check if suppose in the extended signification, if that Saturn is having some unfavorable or occupant of the 7th house, Rahu is also having unfavorable, then we can see that influence will be strongly unfavorable. Now let us check Saturn and Rahu only. Let us focus because that is the seventh lord. Sixth lord, seventh lord occupying fourth house we have studied, and this itself is indicating some weakness. But you can see Saturn is 4, 8, 12 star lord and 10th sublord. So sixth lord, 4, 4, 8, 12 and 10. Unfavorable grouping of the sixth house matters are present, and seventh lord also. Because of that, that seventh house matters are strongly getting afflicted. So that Saturn, seventh lord itself is weak for the seventh house matters, and it is aspecting to the seventh house, and also occupant of the seventh house is Rahu. Rahu is representing Saturn. Rahu is favoring 7, 3, 7, 11. It is the Kama Trikon, it is connecting, but that is 8 and 12 significator. It indicates what? Seventh lord is weak strongly. Occupant of the seventh house, Rahu, also having unfavorable trouble living houses to the seventh house, but it is having, Kama Trikon houses. It means what? Those houses also getting affected, and that Saturn is also aspecting to this. So that seventh house is strongly afflicted. So that we have to keep it in mind. Now you can see, other than that, any other influence to the seventh house, that Saturn is in the sign of Jupiter, and it is aspected by Mercury and Sun. Sun is Lagna Lord, Mercury is second Lord and 11th Lord. So this Lagna Lord, 7th Lord, second Lord, 11th Lord, they are all aspecting to Saturn, they are all supporting, right? But in reverse, if you see, this unfavorable significator Saturn is aspecting to the Lagna Lord and also second Lord and 11th Lord. Second Lord means family, no? That is influenced by the Saturn. So that planet is getting support, but in return, that Saturn is influencing them. So that way it is indicating weakness. So now seventh lord is not well posted, and also seventh house is also not having good significator. It is a mixed significator, can lead to trouble. We are able to identify from this, right? So now the role of the Venus, that posted where it is posted also can be checked, but seventh lord itself is not good, and seventh occupant also not good. So now let us check the detailed explanation on the self-significations, and we do the destiny study and all now. So now we have to go to the EPS event I already selected. Let us check the self-significator, self-significations and planet colors. You can check Ketu is 1 and 7. Ketu is occupant of the Lagna, 7th cuspal sublord. And second planet Sun is very good. So definitely Ketu is the good planets. We can give dark green because 7th sublord, occupant of the Lagna, and all second planet also having strong favorable. And Venus, third lord, 10th lord occupying 10th house, 159 star lord, 135 11 cuspal sublord. So Venus also light green because it has got 10 and 10. So I have given light green instead of dark green. And Sun, yes, Sun is also, we can say it can be 1, 11 and 9, 1 and 9. So because of this, we can give green. Because of the 7th sublord, I have given dark green. Even Sun also can be dark green, not an issue. Because favorable key planet, and 9 sublord also. So these 3 planets are very good, right? And you can see favorable houses are signified by these 3 planets. Itself is taken all the houses within them. Now let us check the moon. 12th lord occupying 8th house, close to 9th cusp, 2, 6, 10. So this is not so good. This is mixed, right? 12, 8 and 9, it is not actually mixed also. 9 and 2 only present, but 12, 8, 12th lord, it is definitely it is going to be light trade, right? It is having more unfavorable, and 2, 16 also not supportive. It is supportive for the professional prospect. It is not for the marriage prospect. It is not detrimental, but because of this 12, 8, the 2, 16 will support to them. And Mars, 4th Lord, 9th Lord, 7th. This is fine. So Mars can be given 4th Lord and 9th Lord and 7th. So we can give blue color because of the 4th Lord and no other favorable houses. So we can give. It is occupant of the 7th house, but 9th Lord and 4th Lord. And Rahu, occupant of the 7th house, 3, 7, 11 star Lord. This is good, but 8 and 12 cuspal sublord. 7 moving towards this means 7th occupant is supportive of the 7th house matters. It is Kama Trikon also present, but trouble giving houses also it is having. You can see second planet Saturn is having strong unfavorable. So definitely Rahu will be favorable along with that unfavorable. We can see Rahu is pink shade. Mixed strong unfavorable houses also present, especially at the second level. Second planet. Jupiter, 5th Lord, 8th Lord occupying 9th house. 5 and 9 is good, but 8th Lord is 2, 4, 6 cuspal sublord. You can see that 6 sublord alone, if it is present, that is different. Unfavorable 4 also connected and 2 also will join. And so you can see second house, third house to the second house, fourth house, third house to the fourth house is sixth house. 8th Lord is 2, 4, 6. It is not good. So Jupiter, it can be given pink, or because of the 6th sublord and 4th sublord and 8th Lord, we can give light red. 5 and 9 is good. Because of that, we can think of giving some good color also. But because of the primary cuspal sublord, 4 and 6, I have given light red. And Saturn, you can see Saturn is unfavorable, definitely. Though it is 7th Lord, 7th Lord itself is experiencing 6, 4, 8, all these things. So Saturn definitely is going to be light red. So when compared to the Saturn, Jupiter is having favorable, but 2, 4, 6 is not good. And Saturn is supported by the Rahu also. Then Mercury, 2nd Lord, 11th Lord is good, but occupying 10th house, so it can be given blue. Now, if you see, other than these 3 planets, all the remaining planets are having some mixed signification, except Mars and the Mercury, they are given blue. All the remaining colors, remaining planets, Moon, Rahu, Jupiter, and Saturn are all having unfavorable. Especially Saturn and Rahu, they are node planets. They themselves are strongly unfavorable. All the planets which are having these Saturn and Rahu in their ruler, or Jupiter also in the ruler, or in their supports, they will definitely experience unfavorable. I think we're able to understand many planets are having unfavorable grouping, that too with the 8 and 12 here, 8 and 12 here, 8, 6, 8, 12, and 8, 4, 6. You can see, unfavorable grouping along with that 8th house and 12th house, that is making that unfavorable strength is on the higher side. So now we have given the colors, and now let us check the destiny. So destiny planet, let us check. Let me clear this, and let me open that significator. And which is the 7th Lord? 7th Lord is Saturn. Saturn itself is weak in self-signification, right? You can see Saturn, sorry. Saturn itself is having unfavorable. In the star of Ketu, 12 level is good and sub-level is weak. Now, Saturn in the star of Ketu and 12 level, these unfavorable are reduced, correct only, but favorable are getting support, that is correct only, but unfavorable very strongly present. And this is star level and 12 level are trying to reduce the unfavorable, trying to support the favorable. Now that, but sublord is unfavorable, 12, 8, 2, 6. It means whatever the star lord is favorable, it is present, that is not being further supported by the sublord. They are reducing that unfavorable signification. And star lord of the sublord Venus is again, it is having mixed signification, favorable only. Now what it signifies, 7th lord is supportive, but result is going to give trouble. Suppose that star level planet which we are saying it is supportive, if they are having in its supports unfavorable planet, then impact will be present, unfavorable side. You can see Saturn, the source planet, star level planet is Ketu is 1 and 7. It is not having grouping, occupying Lagna and 7th sublord, and second planet is also good. It is having 1, 7, 9 grouping, 11 grouping. It is good only, but still it is, you can see whether any planet unfavorable or influencing the Ketu or Sun. Ketu is not under the influence of any planet. Second planet, Sun, is supported by Mercury, but you can see Saturn is playing role for the Ketu second planet, right? And Saturn is playing role here. So that is the problem. The thing is, Saturn planet is influencing the star lord Saturn, sorry, Ketu, by the support to the second planet. So indirectly it is present. It is not directly influencing, but second level planet, star lords, second planet is getting influenced by the Saturn. That is the unfavorable planet. So Rahu also is coming into play because Rahu is also weak. Then 12 level planet Venus, it is under the influence of the Jupiter, our unfavorable strong K planet. Jupiter is present here, conjoined with the Jupiter, and Rasi Lord for also Jupiter. So Venus is influenced. Sublord Mars, sorry, Moon is already unfavorable, and that star lord of the sublord Venus is favorable, but influenced by the Jupiter. It indicates what? If you look at the planet, star level is good, 12 level also supporting, but sub-level itself is weak. That sublord in the star of Venus, it is supportive. That is influenced by Jupiter. Here also Jupiter, influenced by the source planet Saturn itself is influencing the star lord indirectly. So that way, indirectly, the Saturn's rule on the Ketu and that sublord Moon is already, weak, and the Venus is under the influence of the unfavorable Jupiter. It is indicating some weakness, definitely indicated by the seventh lord. Then let us check the seventh sublord. Seventh sublord is Ketu. Ketu is seventh sublord is fine. Star lord also Venus is fine. But you can see the 2A level planet, it is reducing the strength of the Venus. But fortunately, this is not having any seventh house. But still, Lagna, all this favorable will get reduced. But sublord is not good. Unfavorable key planet sublord is directly playing role. It indicates what? That the destiny planet through the star level is supportive, but 2A level is getting reduction to the favorable, and sub-level is favoring for the unfavorable, right? That sub-level is supportive for the struggles and separation. So that last level planet trying to support, but because of unfavorable, it will lead to trouble. Fortunately, it is not sixth blood. Hurdles are given because of the last level planet Ketu. It is trying to reduce the unfavorable strength. When one level is weak, if the next level is supportive, it is good. Suppose this Saturn is also having favorable key planet in its supports, that Ketu can support for the marriage prospects. You can see Saturn is having Sun, and of course Ketu also there. It means Saturn star lord Ketu, which is favoring, reducing the unfavorable or favoring the seventh house, also playing role in the supports through the Sun, because it is aspected by Sun. Favorable key planet Sun and Ketu are present in the rulers, in the supports. That way, Saturn's unfavorable are reduced. That Sun and Ketu are the source planet itself is passing the ruler link, and last level also Ketu. It indicates what? That definitely that sub-level planet, it will give the problem because of this unfavorable house signification along with the seventh house. But that is being temporarily reduced by the support of the favorable key planet. So it means what? It will support for the marriage, but it can lead to trouble also because of the strong unfavorable Saturn and also Moon. Both are ruling. So during the unfavorable period, it will have the impact that we have to keep it in mind, right? So destiny is favorable for the marriage, but by the result planet is unfavorable. Now we have to see which dasa that native was running during that marriageable age she was running. At the now is running Mars dasa. Previously, Moon dasa was running. Moon dasa was running whether Moon is favorable for the marriage. Look at Moon. Moon itself is weak. Star level is Venus. That is the key planet of the destiny is Ketu and Venus. That is playing role at the star level and sub level. So that way, star level and sub level are having the strong favorable key planet of the destiny. So that way it is supportive, right, for the marriage during that moon bukti, moon dasa. But moon itself is having strong unfavorable at 1, 2A level and last levels. Because the moon is having two levels continuously coming, moon in the star of Venus and sub of Venus, check the sub lord Rahu. How is Rahu? Rahu is already having our trouble giving 8 and 12. Rahu having favorable, supported by Saturn, unfavorable. So sub-sublord of that moon, because 2 levels ruled by Venus, 3 levels ruled by moon. So I have taken that sub-sublord Rahu, it is also mixed with 8 and 12. So during the favorable Bugdi under moon dasa, marriage will happen, but definitely under the unfavorable Bugdi, which is the unfavorable key planet of the dasa lord, moon is strongly playing role, right? Venus already under the influence of the Jupiter, strong unfavorable key planet, primary cuspal sublord unfavorable key planet is already Jupiter is there. So moon is going to be the unfavorable and Jupiter is going to be the unfavorable planet, which is making the dasa lord is weak. Favorable key planet is Venus. So when Venus is coming, suppose Ketu also playing, because dasa lord is Ketu, na? If Ketu is also playing role directly, it is well and good, but Ketu is not playing role directly. But if you see Rahu, sub lord is Rahu, na? If you check Rahu, we cannot check here. Let us check here. Rahu. Rahu is here. Rahu represents Saturn, right? So when Rahu is here, then the Ketu represents Sun. Sorry. Close. Yeah. Rahu represents Saturn. Saturn is aspected by Sun, right? Saturn is aspected by Sun. Sun is our favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord. That represents Ketu. What I'm trying to say that favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord is, moon. That moon is having the strong favorable key planet of the destiny, Venus, and destiny planet, that is Ketu rule also, if it is present, well and good. That Ketu sun is not playing role in the Dasa straight away, but that Venus planet is playing role here, but that where is the role of the Ketu Sun primary cuspal sublord? It is not there. But if you look at the sub-sublord, that is Rahu representing Saturn, that Saturn is aspected by Sun representing Ketu. So that Sun Ketu role at the last level supporting further for the marriage. But you should not forget unfavorable key planet Moon, and also Jupiter and the supports there. So they are the unfavorable key planets of the destiny. Moon is there, and Saturn Rahu itself is unfavorable, is present here. Both are ruling the dasa. So that is also there. Jupiter already there in supports. So that destiny planet unfavorable are playing role in the dasa lord, that Rahu, Saturn, because these are the unfavorable key planets of the destiny, and Jupiter is already there in supports, right? Now, under the moon dasa, which planets are favorable key planets? Venus strongly playing role. So the planet which are having that Venus in their important levels can favor for the marriage. Let us check which are the planets are having the unfavorable key planets first. Moon Dasa, you can see Saturn there at the star level. It is not good, right? Let me round it off. So this is not good. And then you can check Rahu, star level Jupiter. That is not good, not good. And Jupiter itself soars, but sublord, star lord of the star lord, sublord unfavorable, not good. Saturn, its source is weak, but star level is fine, but sub level is moon. So these 1, 3 levels are unfavorable. And Mercury, yes, Mercury is supportive. Mars is also supportive. And 2 level only weak. Mercury is supportive. Mars is supportive. They are all supportive. But the problem is a favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord Venus is not playing role here. So that is the problem. So role of Venus is not present. So that is not strong enough. Moreover, these planet significations are also only moderate. They are not green color, right? This is the absence of the favorable key planet Venus here. Venus is strongly playing, making that Dasa Lord supportive because 2 levels ruled by Venus. Now, after that, Ketu is coming. Ketu, our key planet, and Venus itself is ruling there. And of course, sublord is having weakness, but last level again, Ketu is coming. This planet already we discussed that Saturn is having that support from the Ketu because Saturn is aspected by Sun and representing Ketu. So that way, forming ruler link. When we discuss the destiny, we discussed. So the sublord is having weakness. That weakness is reduced by the star lord of the sublord and also through the ruler link from the supports. And our favorable key planet Venus also present. This is also having weakness, but when compared to other planet, this is comparatively better. Venus star lord is moon. That is also not strong. So that way, that is not good. And look at the sun star lord is Jupiter, not good. If you see that, except that moon, Mercury, and Ketu, all other planets are having the unfavorable planets at the important levels. That itself is strongly indicating unfavorable. So that native got married during that moon dasa, Ketu Bugdi, moon antra itself. So only these 2 planets are having their connection and also free from the unfavorable key planets in their rulers. Bugdi Lord having some weakness, but under the influence of the strong favorable key planet of Venus, also that 7th sublord also. But since it is weak, it needs another Antara Lord should be strong enough. That is none other than Moon. Venus, Mercury also fine, but as said, Mercury is not having that primary good key planet, Venus also or Ketu also. That is the problem. Because of that, Moon, Ketu, Moon only favor for the marriage. The date of marriage is Moon, Ketu, Moon. 31st August 2020. 31st August 2020 date of marriage. Let us check the Dasa period. 31st August 2020. Ketu, 31st August. You can see Moon Antra. So Ketu, Moon Antra, that native got married. But you can see other than the Ketu, Moon also having weakness. But Mercury and Ketu, all the other planets are having the primary levels are unfavorable. Being the Dasa Lord Moon is supportive for the marriage, making that Moon is favor for the marriage because of the star level planet Venus and sub-level Venus. So which are the planets are having that Venus in their star level? That is none other than only Ketu. No other planet is having that Venus in the star level, right? I mean, other planets are having only weak key planets only. Now that is supported. Similarly, Dasa Lord Moon can give trouble to the marital life. Which are the planets are having the moon in the star lord, right? And sublord. Many planets are having, especially when moon is coming. So after Ketu, moon, and Ketu Dasa, moon Dasa, Ketu Bugdi, moon Antra. After Ketu Bugdi, Venus Bugdi is coming, right? So when Venus is started, Venus is in the star of moon itself, unfavorable key planet of the Dasa Lord. Moon itself is playing 2 level and sub level, they are a Venus. But again, sublord, so star or sublord moon is coming. So the which planet is making the destiny is unfavorable. You check the destiny, 7 is supported by Venus favoring, but that destiny is disturbed by the moon and next the Saturn, right? Now, destiny is unfavorable, favorable is reduced by the moon and Saturn. That moon itself is the Dasa Lord, making the Dasa Lord also weaker. That moon itself is playing role for the Star Lord for the that Bugdi Lord during that Venus Bugdi, where as soon as Venus started, because it is ruled by Lagna 1, 3, 3, 10, 1, 5, 9, you can see third Lord and star lord is moon 12 8, so 3 12 combination 8 lagna connected to 3 12 combination, moon itself is connected. So the native, the girl left the husband's house as soon as the Venus started. Moon dasa, Venus bugdi, Venus antra in January 2021. January 2021. You can see as soon as that Ketu is over, Venus Bugdi started and the mid of the January, then immediately that girl left to the we left from the husband's house and she moved to the parents' house. So that way the separation happened. Then after that, she did not come because you can see all are remaining are all going to be unfavorable, right? So that way that is led to the separation and finally that divorce also. So even if you look at the transit also, that is not going to be very strong because because many planets are unfavorable. Only favorable planets are only one or two, Venus and Ketu, Sun only. Remaining planets are all unfavorable. So the transit also, we cannot expect a good transit on that particular day, but with some supports can be there. So that marriage happened on 31st August 2020, right? 31st August 31st August 2020 and use natal cusp and let me open the natal chart. Where is Jupiter in the transit? Jupiter is posted in its own sign, Sagittarius. But Jupiter is conjoined with the Ketu. Ketu is our favorable key planet. Ketu in the sign of Jupiter itself. That is one important support that Jupiter is having at the time of marriage. But Jupiter is aspecting to the Sun, our strong favorable key planet, and also Ketu. Ketu and Sun are the strong favorable key planet, and Venus also a strong favorable key planet. Here, Jupiter, transit Jupiter is aspecting to the natal Sun and Ketu supporting, right? It is aspecting to the, and also it is aspecting to the moon. So the Jupiter transit is supportive during that marriage year, and that way it is adding some more value. But other than that, if you look at that Ketu, Dasa Lord is, moon is the Dasa Lord, so we cannot take the moon transit because that is will be daily, it will vary. Moon in the sign of Saturn, conjoined with the Saturn. So you can see moon in the sign of Saturn. Saturn is not a good key planet, but Saturn in the star of Ketu, good key planet. So moon in the sign of Saturn and moon in the star of moon itself. So if you look at the moon, where is moon? Yes, moon in the star of Venus. So moon in the star of Venus And that moon, because of that, it means what in the transit as per EPS, that sign lord or star lord, directly they may be the key planets in the natal chart, or their star lord can be the key planets. And in addition to that, if they are all conjoined with or aspected by other favorable key planets of the natal chart, that will be supportive. That is what it is happening in this. And Ketu, that Buddhi lord is Ketu. Ketu is in the sign of Jupiter. Jupiter is not a good key planet, but Jupiter in the star of favorable key planet. Ketu in the star sign of Jupiter, Jupiter in the star of Sun, a favorable key planet, right? And Ketu in the star of Ketu itself. Ketu is a good key planet. So because of that, key planets are also having some supportive transit in the Dasa Bhuktī Yantra or in the sign and star of supportive key planet. That way it is also supported at the time of marriage. But as we said, many planets are unfavorable when that these planets are moving in the another star and sign, because all the other are all unfavorable. Only these two planets only favorable. So when two key planets are changing, then automatically the transit are moving to the other sign or star. Then when the Buddhi, then Dasa also, the Buddhi also changing, automatically the transit also will, I mean, by the time it will change, that will be in the unfavorable. Then it will add more unfavorable on that. I think you're able to understand the impact of the more unfavorable key planets, and they are all connected to each other. And destiny is strongly supported by the unfavorable key planets at the sublord, influencing the other levels also. And the sublord also not very strong. It is having both favorable and unfavorable. So supported for the marriage during the favorable Bugdi, which is holding the favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord. And in the unfavorable Bugdi, which is having the unfavorable Bugdi of the Dasa Lord, which made that event of separation also happen. I hope you are able to understand. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you. Good luck.